Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today it's going to be a little bit different. No fancy editing, nothing crazy like that. But we're going to be going over some of the most important things that are going to be I guess since it's live, you guys get to see my mistakes. But anyways, we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at the crypto heat map and taking a look at some of the things that ARK is saying about Bitcoin, what to expect, some big things with Ripple, XRP making some great movement. And so thank you guys for being here, and now it's time to dive right in. So the first thing that we're going to be taking a look at today is Bitcoin's price prediction by ARK CEO, and they're saying that they're more than anticipating a $500,000 Bitcoin price eventually, sometime between 2021 and 2024, 2025, which we've heard from a couple of different sources. So that's really great news, and hopefully they're right about it. But I definitely still see something like that happening, more so in the future. And yeah, we're just a little bit too premature for that, but anything could happen. I guess that's why we are in Bitcoin as a whole. So anyways, with Bitcoin nearly touching $19,000 in the last few days, many analysts are of the opinion that the benchmark cryptocurrency still has room to grow to 500K, as I said earlier. And also institutional investors are now ramping up their purchases of Bitcoin, which is making the demand a lot less, which in turn makes the price go up, as we all know. And so here we are, the cryptocurrency could rise somewhere in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. And this is something that the ARK CEO has shared with us here on Business Insider. And Wood said institutions have been increasing their allocation of Bitcoin and their numbers are increasing significantly. The ARK investment CEO compared the movement to the early days when institutions first moved to real estate and emerging markets. So a lot of other institutions were finding ways to safe haven their money. But with Bitcoin, it's got the best returns, as we've seen, and it's something that people are going to continue to look at more and more closely as the price keeps going up. And unfortunately, as the price keeps going up, that means that the quantity that is available to you and I goes down. So it's kind of too late if you're just watching it go up and up and up. But there is definitely room for everyone to get some gains in here. And so that's kind of why I'm making this video, just so you guys can see what's going on, what to expect this week. Monday, usually we have a lot of movement on the weekdays because when there's institutional interest, they usually make those big moves on the weekdays rather than on the weekends, like retail investors. Anywho, it's time to take a look here. So big news, we have a really big news, and that's going to be that Bitcoin is now larger than any of the world's largest banks. Once it surpassed $350 billion, it took over JP Morgan Chase from the US, if you guys aren't familiar. And right now they're at $349 billion market cap. So Bitcoin has officially surpassed them by 1 billion. And this is big news because it's bigger than every single bank around the world. I mean, that is not a small task to eat up. And after JP Morgan, we have the Chinese bank at 251 billion, Bank of BAC USA is 231 billion, and we have Chase. So next up, we have Bitcoin just had its second highest weekly candle close ever, which is something that we were all looking for quite some time now, because it just continues to paint a picture that we're still on the upcoming we're still going towards the bull market that we've been experiencing. And so this is a good sign for people. There's still more upside. There's a lot of, let's see here, US dollar squeeze at 19,000 BTC. 5 things to watch in Bitcoin this week. So let's take a look at the 5 things that we should keep an eye on. So as we already know, USD weakness combines with a Bitcoin supply and demand conundrum as BTC USD takes aim at 19,000. Now, if as soon as we take 19,000 and turn it into a support, I really believe that soon we'll be at the 20,000 range. And honestly, from there, they've been saying that 20,000 to 28,000, there's nothing but air. So we can expect that once they turn that 19,000 support level, 19,000 level into support, that it's going to end up becoming a quick run up. So we don't know where it's going to stop. Some people are saying 20, some people say 22,000, some people say 28,000, but we don't really know, because if you really dig into it a little deeper, It really depends what we're talking about here. Some people are talking about short term, as in what everyone's paying attention to now and where it's going to go on its next uptrend. And some people are talking about where it's going to be in early 2021, late 2021. And people are even focused. The big guys have a long-term goal on this. That's why they're buying it up, even if at $18,000. Bitcoin is a good price at $18,000 if you're looking at it in terms of longevity. So if you're looking at it as something to hold, then you're going to be more than fine no matter what price you get it at, as long as everything continues the way it's going. We still need to continue with the institutional interests other than PayPal and MicroStrategy and Cash App. We need more big guys to get into this mix so that we can see some really big numbers with BTC, if that's what everyone's anticipating. I mean, at the end of the day, I have almost 5 Bitcoin, so I'm kind of just holding on to it to see what happens, but we don't really know where it's going to go from here. I mean, according to ARK, they're seeing a $500,000 Bitcoin price. So there's no hurt in holding on and trying to find out. But you guys should also keep in mind that a 30% correction is more than healthy in a time like this. So be very careful. We can see corrections. We have been seeing corrections throughout the weekend, and it's fighting that 19,000 level. It keeps bouncing between mid 18s and high 18s. And so as soon as that passes, we should be in a pretty good shape. Anyways, now let's go on to the next. Let's go on over here to the crypto heat map. So as of the recording time, let's just make sure that we have the up-to-date crypto heat map, because I'm looking at one. It's a screen recording that I don't remember when I took it. And since we've been moving a lot lately, I don't want to misguide you guys with any type of false price. So now here we are. So yeah, it does look like we're in a bit of a correction, but not too bad. Bitcoin is at $18,186.23, down 1.56%. Next, we have ETH. I mean, most major altcoins in the green other than Bitcoin, which is no problem. That's what we've been seeing in the past, just so we all are clear here. So as Bitcoin takes a break and consolidates, all the other altcoins decide, all the money transfers to the altcoins. We start seeing XRP jump, which it did. XRP jumped over 25, 30 cents just in a couple of days. So now let's go ahead and check out all the prices one at a time. So we have Bitcoin at $18,178.85, down 1.56%. Ethereum, $585. Let's see here. It says 6.04% up. XRP 0.53, and that is up by 17.28%. Litecoin $85.68. This is great news. BNB $30.08. Next we have, let's see here. Oh, it looks like they moved Bitcoin Cash around on the heat map. So Bitcoin Cash is up also $304.22. And let's see here, it's up 6.22%. And then there's a couple of other ones here. Let's check out Chainlink. Chainlink is down $14.72, down 0.42%. So everything's looking pretty good here. USDT is $1, up 0.18%. Now let's go ahead and continue on with this. So here is going to be the gist of why I made this video. We have a lot of interesting information, and what type of person would I be not to share with you guys. So let's see. All right, let's get this straight. So Bitcoin is seen by investors and retail and institutions alike. And what do I mean by this? What I mean by this is as a digital version of gold as a hedge against inflation, which is something that we're all worried about as investors and people who are savers. Savers will suffer in this situation. So this is why people are going crazy to find out where they can put all of the money that they have saved up so that they can be hedged against inflation, especially rapid inflation, that hyperinflation that people are expecting, especially as the US dollar continues to weaken with fiscal and quantitative easing that is just making the value of the dollar weaker and weaker. So as this happens, we tend to see that Bitcoin price compared to USD ends up going up tremendously. So as long as you're in Bitcoin, pretty much people have the sentiment that you don't have to worry whatsoever. But here, and this is the reason why, Bitcoin is seen by investors, retail, and institutions alike as a digital version of gold or as a hedge against inflation, as I said. And that continues saying that the weakening dollar contributed to this Bitcoin is digital gold. That's what it's been called lately, especially since we've been turning up lots of gold, lots and lots of gold lately. Pretty random to me. But as more gold comes out, it's actually bad for the value, for the market cap of gold. And so as more and more gold gets found, because you can find gold. If you wanted gold, you can just go ahead. If you had the equipment, of course, and the location, you could just keep mining it out of the earth. But with Bitcoin, it doesn't work like that. You can no longer just make more come out of nowhere. You can't just go ahead and buy more Bitcoin when the whole supply is done. You can't make more Bitcoin. You can't do any of that stuff, which is extremely important to be like regularized. For it to be regulated, it needs to have some type of finite supply that not many people can create, and something that not many people can, well, nobody can create it, but not many people can get their hands on, especially past a certain point, because at that point, if it's accessible to everyone, then it would be somewhat affordable, which kind of goes against gains. So anyways, here we have the financial system to jolt the economy by putting more cash into the system. Spending has weakened the dollar. This served as a catalyst for even large companies. We already know this. This is something that is not new information, but for people who are late to the party, this could be something that is really important for you to know. As you already know, if you're already in Bitcoin, it's going crazy. So Wood has noted that Bitcoin supply is definite, which is what I just said before even reading what Wood had to say. So at 21 million Bitcoin so far, 18.5 million Bitcoin have been mined. And if institutional investors take a greater interest in Bitcoin, it could send the price soaring even higher, which is what we've kind of just been waiting for. But as of Sunday, it closed at 18,437 after reaching a high of 18,900. So it's a great, it's showing that, it's fighting, it's testing, it wants to turn it into support, and it will eventually, but we just don't know when that might be. Could be early this week, could be mid this week, late this week, could be any time from now. But once it does, we could definitely see an all-time high coming very soon. Bitcoin was the best performing major cryptocurrency in the past month. No surprise, we already know that. So increasing by 36% in the last 30 days. It's also up 158% since the beginning of this year and up 380% since March 2020. So this is great. So this is awesome. We want to see more of this, of course, and we want it to, get to $500,000. But we don't want to get too emotional with this. We don't want to put all of our money saved and all of the money that we have invested into Bitcoin, because we still don't know when that correction is. Some people are saying we already got the correction. Some people are saying we're in the middle of the correction right now when it's at 18,100. But ultimately, we haven't been in this territory in quite a few years, so we don't really know exactly what to expect. But we will be seeing something soon, and I hope it's for the better for all of us. Now, moving on to the next topic, we have PayPal bought 70% of all newly mined Bitcoin last month as demand rockets. So yes, we did get this new information not too long ago that Bitcoin is being bought in masses by PayPal and some of its counterparts, Cash App. So at this rate, the more that these guys keep buying, the more the price is going to go up, as we already know. But these guys are actually a little bit different than everyone else. They're some of the only corporations that are actually going this hard when it comes to the newly mined Bitcoin. There are only 900 newly mined Bitcoin, and they are eating up 70%. That doesn't include Cash App, what Cash App's buying in. It doesn't include MicroStrategy. It doesn't include all these other places that have not yet revealed that they've been buying crypto. This also doesn't include all the places that did reveal that they're buying crypto that I have not mentioned. So we could have a very, very happy start here. So hopefully they continue to push the price up, and so that would only benefit everyone who is hodling Bitcoin. So we already know here, as I just said, and the payment giant started offering cryptocurrency services 4 weeks ago. That's PayPal. PayPal offered the cryptocurrency services to its 300 million active users, which also sent the price skyrocketing. The price just took a giant jump not too long after PayPal released that it was going to be doing that. And not only did they do that, but they ended up buying a bunch and a bunch and a bunch more to go with it. So this has just been very positive news for Bitcoin all in all, and even altcoins. And now we have here the letter of demand for PayPal's crypto service. I do know in the beginning, I did make a video about it, that towards the beginning of the new news from PayPal, they did have a huge demand to get their services like authenticated into PayPal users' systems, and they weren't able to because the demand was so high. They were only able to, I believe, they were able to fulfill like 10% of their demand for cryptos in their PayPal space, and I believe that has all been fixed now. So people are now able to access cryptos. I did see also that there was a limit. I don't know if that's still till this current day, if they've changed it yet, but I seen that it was around 10 or 20,000 purchasing limit with with just cryptocurrency in general on PayPal. I don't know if they did anything about that, but doing something about that in turn would only make it more accessible for people to buy larger sums of Bitcoin, which is great. The letter said demand for PayPal's crypto services, which runs on Paxos fiat to crypto exchange, ItBit, had hit the roof. The exchange was doing a fairly constant amount of trading volume, but when PayPal went live with its Bitcoin news, volume started exploding, as I just explained to you guys. The increase in ItBit, it's called ItBit, that's it, ItBit volume, and that within 4 weeks of going, PayPal is already buying almost all of the new supply. We already know that. We don't. By the way, this is the first time that I do a live stream, so if you guys enjoy, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe with the bell notification turned on all to be notified on premium crypto, finance, stock market news around the clock. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and finish up here. So we have the decision also meant, so when PayPal released that news, the decision also meant that users could use their coins to buy things from the 26 million merchants that accept PayPal. The PayPal rolled out the crypto service to the US consumers earlier this month, with the rest of the world set to be integrated later. So the US is getting priority with this one, which means the world could be following soon. And I see some news here. They want to, so I'm in an options trading group, and Tesla is going absolutely nuts right now. They want to swing it and they're thinking that's going to go around $525 sometime by the end of today or tomorrow, or even this week. And I've been seeing people also talking about a $1,000 Tesla share. So also loaded up on that. I hope you are as well. I don't want to mix this up too much with the stock market and cryptos, but stocks as a whole, pretty good. Tesla as an individual, amazing. We're now past the all-time high. And also we have very soon to be the all-time high for Bitcoin. So this is great news. This is great news. The letter also argues that Bitcoin's current rally is much more sustainable than 2017. We know this because it's backed by something completely different this time around. This time we have big guys. We got the big guys. We have whales. We have institutional investors. We have hedge funds, and we have retailers, all in a big little circle right here. A big little circle that everyone's investing collectively at the same time. When in before its times, it was just retailers for majority. And so now that we have these big guys, yes, we could have these big guys sell, and they could possibly manipulate the market. Maybe people like PayPal, I'm not sure. But now it's backed by a lot more people than how it used to be in 2017. And so this is putting a way different sentiment on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole compared to 2017. So previously, the friction to buy Bitcoin was pretty wow, that's an interesting word. Onerous? Onerous. Okay. Take a selfie with your passport, wait a couple days to a week, activate daily limits. Okay, well, now that's just not the case anymore. Now you just buy Bitcoin. And for Coinbase, I have a $25,000 limit. I believe that's a daily limit. So let's see here. We're almost done here. Let's just make sure we passed all the important info here. Okay, so it says here that, wow, MicroStrategy and Galaxy Digital Holdings combined $14.42 billion of Bitcoin in reserve. This is huge because they're eating up all the Bitcoin. They have 832,351 Bitcoin, and that's over 4% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. So they're really doing a number here. They're putting a dent into Bitcoin supply, and keep in mind that now you can't say just because there's only 4% being bought that there's only 96% left, because that's just 4% amongst the two companies. That doesn't include nothing to do with all the other guys that are not being accounted for, all the guys that aren't important enough to get the sunlight, who aren't buying enough to be exposed. So we're definitely eating up into Bitcoin's finite supply, and this is just going to lead to a price appreciation. And as I said, it looks like they're saying the same thing here. A number of these purchases have happened in the last few months, pushing the price of Bitcoin higher. Pantera Capital says the shortage of Bitcoin resulting from high corporate demand means that the likes of Cash App, which recently reported a record 1.6 billion in Bitcoin revenue, will have to pay more for each coin. And they just made 1.6 billion. So from an investment that they did not too long ago. So I'm sure they have no problem buying 18 and 19 or even $20,000 Bitcoins, because their turnover is absolutely magnificent. And so they're just taking the profits and reinvesting. And that's the name of the game when it comes to, building wealth and just, having successful investments to look after and watch grow throughout the years. So the only way to supply and demand is a higher price. Yes, we do know this. We know that we're going to be getting a higher price as time goes on. I've been saying this. This is really good though. I would say this is alt season here. We're in alt season. I made that up, so I don't know if that actually means anything, but we're definitely in crypto season, period. Now, taking a look at the greed factor here, we have a meter here that says if people are greedy, if people are scared, it's a fear meter. So it says that we are at a 90% greed. That's pretty high. So we're at 90% greed. It's extreme greed right now. So usually when there's extreme greed, we're usually due for a correction, as I was saying before, and as many people are also saying. But now we're currently extreme greed at 90. Yesterday we were at 94. Last week we were at 90. Last month we were at 73. So we're making big jumps here. We're doing something substantial. This is actually pretty good. It's bittersweet actually, because there's just so many factors here. So we have the fear, let's call it the fearometer. So the fear meter is saying extremely greedy. People are being extremely greedy when it comes to their cryptos and their Bitcoin specifically, which kind of in a sense means that we're due for a pullback, like I said. But don't forget about what I was telling you guys earlier about the institutional. It's no longer called institutional interest. It's literally institutional's portfolio. So we have institutions and they're adding percentage of Bitcoin into their portfolio, and it's going to be keeping the price up, but this is saying that the price is going to come down a bit. So we don't really know. If you look at the indexes, you'll see that we still have some more room for upside, and so I'm just going to hold. I'm not really going to worry about the correction. I'm not going to try to sell high and buy low. Like I said, I already have 5 Bitcoin. I think that's more than enough. Actually, I have 4 Bitcoin, but I think that's enough to at least not miss the transfer of generational wealth. And so I'm not going to continue buying and selling. I was doing that with XRP the last couple of days just so that I could day trade it, just to be able to buy more Bitcoin ultimately at the end of the day. And that's what I did. I ended up with 4 Bitcoin, started with I started with half. So from half to 4 Bitcoin, I'm more than happy with it. I just need some big numbers to happen now, as do all of us. So let's go ahead and just check a couple of different things here. So just want to remind you guys, if you're interested in purchasing cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, if you're kind of late to the game, you can go ahead and check the description down below. I'll be able to have a couple of different links where you guys can go ahead and purchase Bitcoin, anything that you guys are interested in. Say say you guys think that XRP is going to go to 90 cents or $5 or $30 like I've been hearing, then it might be a perfect time, because at the end of the day, it's never too late until it's too late. So you could be the one to figure out if that's going to be for you or not. But in my personal opinion, it's not too late. In the way things are looking, it looks almost like things are kind of just beginning. So I don't want you guys to buy or sell anything based on what I say. I only do this because I find great entertainment and fun in talking about investment-based topics when it comes to cryptos and stocks and moving money around and building it and multiplying it. But I wouldn't want you guys to go ahead and make any decisions based off what I'm saying. But I would definitely like for you guys to take whatever information that makes you interested and curious, and just do some more research into it. And then after you do your due diligence, you can then make a decision as to what's going to suit you and your portfolio best. And keep in mind that you guys never want to invest more than you're willing to lose. So I always say that, especially to people who are nearest and dear to me. We don't want to lose more than we can afford to lose. And this happens. It happens every now and then. So if it happens to you, don't feel bad. It's happened to everybody at least once, me multiple times. But it's all about how much you're getting and compared to how much you're losing. So you can balance that out and make it worth your time, as long as you take smart risks and think very hard about your investments, but not too hard so they don't pass you by. So at 18.5K, the price for Bitcoin, Google searches for Bitcoin have not seen an uptick. No one is searching for Bitcoin yet. So what does that mean? That means that we are not in the FOMO rally yet. FOMO, fear of missing out, for those who want to know. We're not in FOMO yet, because when we're in FOMO, we will just have purchases that don't make too much sense entirely come out of nowhere. They just start coming out of nowhere in masses. And also we'll see in the we'll see here in the Google searches that people will be searching it. People will be interested to know what's going on here. Are we in FOMO? No. So that's my take on FOMO. It's been steady hands lately, and only a few people understand this. But we haven't seen FOMO, and if you're in before FOMO comes around, you'll be a really happy person. I can almost guarantee that. So waiting around for the FOMO rally, yes, we are. We are coming down to the last couple of minutes. So after its 4.82% increase last week, Bitcoin's network difficulty is set to lead a resurgence in fundamentals in 5 days' time. Difficulty and its automatic readjustments after every 2016 blocks are mined are an essential feature in Bitcoin, allowing it to maintain constant block mining intervals. So we need this without outside intervention, and thus ensuring network stability. At the beginning of November, difficulty dropped by the most in 9 years in a single readjustment. So ultimately, we just have big things going on, period, in every different aspect that you look at. This is the time to be an investor. So all I'm doing here is just reading things that could possibly sway your decision if you want to go in a direction or keep you away from it, or just purely entertainment. So at the beginning of November, it dropped by the most in 9 years by one single readjustment, with the expectation that increased activity would make difficulty rise again thanks to the ensuring competition. So we need that. That's healthy. That's what's going to keep the ball rolling, keep everyone engaged. Let's see here. The hash rate for EH is 137.2. This is appearing in mid-October. So big price gains are yet to come, as we know. Zooming out even slightly, it's still a cause of major bullishness among some of Bitcoin's best-known analysts. So analysts are bullish. We already know. Analysts are crazy, crazy bullish on this. And I am too. In my opinion, that will be the start of the real bull market, and indeed phase 5, possibly January 2021. We don't know yet, but it's creeping up on us. We know it's creeping up on us. It's really only a matter of time. The real jump, we haven't seen it yet, but that's what everyone is saddled and strapped in for. Everyone wants to see that big jump. So let's see here. 2013 during Cyprus bail-in, where the government stole all people's bank savings above 100K, 100,000 euro. 2017 was Japan and Australia, legal clarity, Bitcoin legal, and no VAT. This legal clarity stopped the exodus of fin/tech companies out of Japan and Australia. Ay, ay, ay. I just love looking at these charts. They just amp me up, make me feel good, make me feel optimistic of Bitcoin's and all of crypto's future. So PayPal bought 70% of all new mined Bitcoins last month as demand rockets. We know that. So looks like that's going to be the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you made it to this part of the video, the very end, I really appreciate you guys. This is my first time actually live streaming, so you guys get to see my mistakes. You guys get to see me slip up and no title or you see, I do make mistakes, but no editing. There's no fancy editing this time around. I can't cover up my mistakes that I make over and over again with cuts and edits. So anyways, glad you guys tapped in, and we'll be seeing you guys on the next one. As always, peace. Okay, hold on. So, all right, let's see. I finished it. Orientation is locked. Okay. Do I just click the X? I don't want to click the X because what if it kicks off everything? What if it deletes everything? All right, I'm just going to do it. Are you sure? Yes.